What's up, y'all? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Oh, just kidding. Not my YouTube channel. Hi, my name is Taze Campbell, or as you've probably seen, Sarah Campbell, as I am on Canvas. I am going to be doing my first year abroad in Valencia, Spain, and so my dish that I'll be making today is flan. Flan is like a custardy kind of dessert, and it's got caramel on top that spills over because it's a dessert that's made upside down, and you flip it, and then the caramel spills out over it. It's really pretty. It's really good, too. So, here, I'm measuring out some sugar. I had to adjust my recipe because I only had a 9-inch pan, and you need a 7-inch pan. So, some of the proportions are a little bit off, so I had to make some more sweetened condensed milk, but just disregard that, and I'm going to put the regular amounts of everything in the video. But that was the caramel that's going to go on top. It was about 1 cup of sugar and a little bit of water. Mix it in there and then just let it sit, let it heat up. Then I'm going to heat the oven to 350 degrees. And this is where I realized I haven't done an intro. So this is me introducing myself and the ingredients. That's the pan. This is the sweetened condensed milk. You just need 1 can or 14 ounces. The vanilla extract, you're going to need a tablespoon of that, and then the whole milk, you're going to need 1 1/4 cup of whole milk. Then you're going to need eggs. You can do 6 eggs, or you can do where you substitute 1 egg for 2 egg yolks, which is going to be more of a Spanish flan. So I did 2 eggs substituted, so that was 4 egg yolks, and then another 6 eggs. So this is the caramel. You're waiting for it to look like this brown color that's going to come out of this. Oh, and right before this I greased the pan so it'll come out easier. So that looks good, nice and caramel-y. And here I'm just making sure it's spread evenly on the bottom, and I got the rag in the caramel, and it's my mom's rag, so that's unfortunate, but it's fine. It came out later. It actually came off in one piece. It was very nice. Anyways, we're going to spread the caramel out, make sure it coats the bottom evenly, and then we're going to do the eggs. So these are the eggs. I did 1, 2, 3, I think that's 3, and then 4, maybe? Yeah, 4, and then there's 2 here. I misspoke earlier. There's going to be 4, and then I'm going to do 4 egg yolks too. So that's going to be a total of the equivalent of 6 eggs, because when you want to substitute yolks, you have to do 2 yolks for every 1. I was a little nervous about this part because I've done the separating before and it doesn't always work. Like, it's not always super easy, but it ended up being fine. Flan ingredients are super simple and super easy, so I just got them all at my local grocery store. Super easy to find. Another thing to recognize is Spanish flan is more what I'm making here, so it's a combination of the egg yolks and the whole eggs, as well as you're using whole milk. Here I am using sweetened condensed milk, but a normal flan would just use the whole milk. It's kind of hard to find a recipe that's just whole milk and makes the big flan instead of the little individual ones. So I did end up using the whole milk and the sweetened condensed. But flan is really interesting because Spain, when they colonized everywhere, they kind of took it to all these different cultures. So there's a Mexican flan, a Cuban flan, a Filipino flan. There's my mom being nosy. She was confused as to what I was doing. But yeah, there's so many different kinds of flans, and they all use different stuff. So like a Mexican flan is going to be sweetened condensed milk and evaporated milk, and then that's what's different about it. And then the Filipino flan is sweet as just whole milk, but it's only going to use egg yolks, no egg whites at all. And the Spanish flan is kind of a mix in between. So there's the sweetened condensed milk that I put in there that I got from the store, and then I had to add in my sweetened condensed milk that I made because I didn't get enough. So I stirred that in kind of slowly because I didn't want to make scrambled eggs with the eggs that were in there, because the sweetened condensed milk that I made was still hot, but it ended up not doing it, I didn't think. Didn't look like it, at least. Now I'm going to pour it into the pan. It was really full. I kind of got nervous for a minute that it wasn't going to all fit in there. And there definitely were chunks of the yolk still in there, but it's okay. I did the best mixing I could without mixing in too much air. So this is me putting it in a giant, like, roast tray, I guess you would call it. You are supposed to use this to make a bain-marie, which is where you put water around it so it cooks the custard slower. So it's warm water that I'm just getting from my sink, and I'm putting it about halfway up on the cake pan and filling the basin of the roast pan. Now it's time to put it in the oven, which I was nervous about because you saw how full that was, and now it's covered with tinfoil. So I'm going to put it in the oven. It didn't spill that I could see, and then it cooks for an hour and a half, or an hour and 15 minutes, and then we're going to take it out. I take it out. It was hard to get out, I think, for me, just because I didn't want to burn myself. And then I took the tinfoil off, and it didn't look that bad. I was kind of nervous it wasn't going to work, but it didn't look that bad. Then I put it in the fridge, and see you tomorrow. I leave it in there overnight. Alright, this is the next day. Good morning. Good morning. My family's not here, so they shouldn't be as disruptive as they were in the first clip. That's why I'm doing this whole voiceover thing, was because the video is so loud you can barely hear anything. So I'm going to take the lid off, and then I actually thought it looked pretty good. It looked pretty like a flan, which I was not expecting. I wasn't expecting it to go so well. And then this is me looking forever for a plate to flip the flan onto. I looked all around my kitchen, all around my dining room, and finally I found my plate, my Christmas plate to flip my flan onto, thank goodness. So this is also me sliding the knife around. You gotta make sure it's a little bit loose. And then I'm gonna place the plate on top, pray a little prayer, and flip that bad boy over. It dripped a little bit, but not a lot. And so I'm just making sure it's all down, and then we are the champions, my friend. So that was my moment of rejoice. I was so happy because I really thought I was going to flip it and it wasn't going to look good, and it looked really good, and it tasted really good. So yeah, that was my journey making flan, and yeah, thank you so much for watching.